Okay, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are back here doing another episode prediction for this week's up-and-coming episode of Fear the Walking Dead, which would be Season 2, Episode 12, entitled Pillar of Salt. Alright, so it obviously airs this Sunday on AMC, and I cannot wait for it. It looks pretty intense, judging by the promos and the sneak peek that we actually have for it as well. It looks pretty intense, guys. It looks pretty good. And now, we don't really have a lot to go on with this episode. Not only the title is very vague, we really don't know, what the title is really referring to. We don't really have any clues, I guess, within the title. But as always, just as a reminder, make sure you guys get caught up on Season 2, Episode 11, which was entitled Pablo and Jessica. Alright, so I did a review for that back on Monday, so make sure you guys go check out. Link will be down in the description below. As always, I'm going to go ahead and read the synopsis, guys, and this one's a short one. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. You guys can follow along on AMC.com if you wish. I will leave a link in the description below to that as well. Alright, so the synopsis of Season 2, Episode 12, entitled Pillar of Salt, is as follows. Madison lays down the law. That's it. There's literally nothing else. That's the synopsis that they have on their website. Now, I don't really know why it's so short. Maybe this is going to be a big episode and they don't want to give, too much away. That's a pretty good estimate, but that's all we got for the synopsis. Madison lays down the law. And we can sort of take that into account of a scene that we actually get to see in the promo of Madison essentially saying, if anyone lands a hand on anyone else, you're out. Basically taking charge, taking leadership, making rules, And that's exactly what the synopsis sounds like. Madison lays down the law. That's sort of like a Western style, laying down the law. So with that being said, this episode prediction video is probably going to be a little shorter than most because we literally just have to go over a promo and then a sneak peek, which is very vague. There's nothing in the sneak peek that really stands out besides one main factor, and we'll get into that. Alright, so again, link will be down in the description below for you guys to watch the promo and the sneak peek, obviously before I go ahead and review it and predict what's going to happen. Basically, the promo starts off with Nick overlooking the colonia, right? Just sort of overlooking it, looking at the wall of zombies or infected, whatever you want to call them. And he actually ends up seeing something in the distance. Now, you can't quite catch it in the promo, but he sees something in the distance, and he goes back to warn Alejandro, the community leader, saying that the danger is real and the danger is now. And then Alejandro, I guess, lays down the law of his own, saying that nobody leaves the colonia. We all stay here. This is where we fortify. This is where we live. We won't abandon it. So judging by the promo so far, we get to see that there's probably going to be some sort of an altercation or confrontation, I guess, between Nick's group at the colonia and some other group. My guess would be the gang from the food mart. Maybe they actually went ahead and found out that those pills that Nick provided them weren't 100% oxy, because he obviously laced them. So maybe they found out that, and they obviously wanted to come back and, either get real oxy or, take their revenge on them, if you will, for ripping them off. So that is one theory, but we really don't have any proof to back that up. We have no idea what it could be. It literally could be a walker horde, which would be cool. We haven't really seen too many of those in Fear the Walking Dead yet. So if a walker herd, stormed through the community or the colonia, whatever you want to call it, I think that would be a pretty intriguing episode. Alright, so in the next scene of the promo, we get to see Madison again here saying her quote of, if anybody raises a hand to another, they're out. And within that quote, we get to see other screens as well, like someone smashing in a walker's head with a hammer, which is something we get to see in the sneak peek. We'll go over that. We also get to see Strand in a bit of trouble. It looks like he's bleeding down here from his side. Did he get bit? I don't really think that they reveal something like that in a trailer, for Fear the Walking Dead, but I could totally be wrong. I think most likely he either got stabbed or shot, or maybe he just cut himself on something. There's not really any way to tell at this point. We just know he's bleeding down here from his side, and he looks like he's hurt. He's getting dragged back by some friends of his, and it doesn't really look too good for Strand, but I'm sure that he'll pull through just fine. Because like I said, I don't really think they reveal something that big in the promo trailer, for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead. It just wouldn't be something that you reveal in a trailer. You know what I mean? You want to make that a surprise to everybody. All right, so we get to see also Alicia confronting Madison, basically I want to say scolding her in a way, because she basically looks at Madison, yells in her face saying that you risked it. We have no idea what she's talking about here, but it could definitely be a problem with Madison's leadership skills. What's going to happen there, I have no idea. Again, we don't really have too much footage or information even in the synopsis to go off of with this episode. So, my opinion, she's probably going to screw up somehow. You know, there's probably going to be something that she does that either gets someone really injured, like maybe it could be the Strand situation, or gets somebody ultimately killed, which could be probably most likely one of the people in that wedding reception group that we've essentially just added to the show. In one of the next scenes, we get to briefly see Nick and Luciana probably continuing their little session from the end of last week's episode. It could be a new session. It could be... That was loud. It could be a new session, you know, of them making out, I guess. I'll just go out and flat out say it. Yet again, this isn't a very slow trailer. Everything's pieced together really fast, so it's sort of hard to pick out, you know, bits and pieces. Also, near the end of the promo, we get to see somebody in the bus laying down. Looks like they're injured. We're not really sure what happened there, but it's the bus that's obviously blocking the infected wall, right? The bus that they go into, step out the back, and essentially feed themselves to the wall. So somebody is inside that bus injured, and it looks like people are freaking out. Madison is also freaking out, but obviously not in the same location. They're obviously still going to be back at the hotel. So we have Madison freaking out on one hand about something back at her group, and people are also freaking out at that bus. Something's going on there. All right, there's a situation happening, and it's probably not for the best. And that's where the promo ends. All right, so to get in the sneak peek, which again, link will be in the description below for you guys to check out for yourself. This sneak peek is a certain character with a hammer caving in an infected's head. And who is that character, you may ask? None other than Ophelia. So, Ophelia is alive. And it turns out she actually did go off with the truck on her own. Alright, so she's with the truck in this scene. She gets out of it, takes the hammer with her. So she's sort of being Tyrese, I guess, with the hammer. But nonetheless, she enters some sort of fenced-in area, she comes across an infected, and then takes it out with the hammer. The hammer actually gets stuck in the skull, but she rips it out anyway. And that's essentially where it ends. I mean, pretty much there's, you know, she walks around a little bit, but there's not too much more info in that scene. We just know that she stopped by some fenced-in area, maybe to get supplies. I have no idea. But nonetheless, it does look interesting to see, you know, where she went and if she has an explanation as to why she stole the truck and just went off on her own and, you know, basically abandoned her group. So I'm definitely interested in finding out why she did that. Hopefully you guys are as well, because I am going to be tuning in this Sunday on AMC to watch this episode of Fear the Walking Dead. Again, it looks intense, guys. There's not a lot to go on here. The synopsis is short. The title of the episode is extremely vague. And the promo and the sneak peek basically have little to no information in it whatsoever. We know a few things that are going to happen, you know, within the promo. Strand does somehow get injured. And, you know, Madison definitely takes charge. Nick notices that there's some sort of danger on the rise for his colonia. And it's also a pretty good estimate that we know that Chris and Travis will also not be in this episode. So they haven't been in a lot of episodes since Season 2B started back up. They've only been in one. And since then, we actually haven't even seen them since that cliffhanger with, you know, Chris obviously killing the farmer with the gun in the barn. They're probably just holding off on that storyline for maybe closer to the season finale of Season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead, which is a pretty good estimate. That's probably what they're waiting for. Probably something big happens or there's going to be a time jump. But with that being said, that brings us to the end of our episode predictions for Season 2, Episode 12, entitled Pillar of Salt. Again, I will be tuning in. Hopefully you guys will as well. And just to let you guys know, my channel is primarily a gaming channel. So if you guys do like gaming, enjoy any of that stuff, make sure you check out my other content. I put tons of work and effort into it every single day. And for you guys to check it out, give it a chance, would definitely mean the world to me. So thank you all so much for watching. If you guys only watch my predictions and reviews, make sure you tune back in on Monday for my episode review of Season 2, Episode 12, entitled Pillar of Salt. I'll see you guys then. Take care, everybody. Bye. Okay, guys, so we have some bounties here to do today on Destiny. Now, I was actually planning on posting a private match video yesterday with a few friends. Things fell through, and I told you guys yesterday, if you guys are subscribed to my second channel, we have a public event. Nice. Where's this thing located? Alright, so if you guys are subscribed to my second channel...